Hi everybody, I'm Izzy the Tiger, and welcome back to the next installment of my Minecraft series. And we are in my survival world. Now, before we get into things, I just want to take the time to apologize about the delay between this video and my last one. Over the last month, I recently brought a new member of my family into the world in the form of a beautiful little Norwegian elk-hound puppy. And he has been my main focus over the last couple of weeks, getting him settled and house trained and so on and so forth. And this is the first opportunity I've had in a long time to sit down and actually record something. So, we are at the top of my observation deck, and we're going to go down into my bedroom where I keep a chest full of all of my gear. I always empty my inventory before logging off, just in case something was to happen. So, I have this survival world currently set to peaceful mode so that I can continue showing you this world without worrying about monsters. But rest assured, as soon as I'm done showing you everything in this world, I will change it back to normal mode. And in this episode, we are going to take a trip to the Ocean Outpost, way to the south. And there are two ways we can do that. The first way is we can take what I call the land bridge. The land bridge that leads to the south, and we can ride a horse, or we can take the minecart. And as a matter of fact, I think we are going to take the minecart, but we're not going to ride it. I have some updating that I need to do to the minecart. With the most recent, not even the most recent update, but the last update, it kind of changed some things. And I need to make my minecart track. I need to update it so that I can ride it. So, I need to get some track. Just, that should be sufficient. And some powered rail. I guess I can take a full stack. And I'll take a minecart with me as well. And I think that should just about do it. But first, I wanted to show you something that's new here at my compound. And for those of you who haven't seen this compound before, this is my home base. It's the second house that I built in this world, and this is my one and only world, my only survival world. And this originally started out as a farming outpost, and it gradually grew into what you see here. And I'm very proud of what I've accomplished here. So out there is my tree farm. And up until recently, you can hear the chickens in my from my underground farm. But up until recently, I had a villager hut back over in those trees, and I have since demolished that. Back in what I'll call the old days, spawning villagers or breeding villagers had to do with the number of doors in a village. So I basically built a big fortified room lined with doors, and I used that to breed villagers. But nowadays that's no longer the case. So I bulldozed it. And so now, if I want to get a villager into my village up there, instead of rowing them up this piston staircase and over into the villager hut, I can simply row them down this boulevard and in through these doors, down this newly constructed corridor, through these doors, and then break the boat, releasing both me and the villager, and then push the villager up this bubble vader and down this corridor and through this door and into my artificial village. Now, there was once a mountain on the site of this village, and I leveled that mountain and built this village. And I dare say all of these villagers I bred in my old villager hut. And I don't know what he thinks he's doing there, but it's kind of a neat place. So let's actually, while we're up here, I don't know if you can. No. Never mind. But if you look down there, you'll see torches leading off into the distance. That is the land bridge going to the Ocean Outpost. And up until I built the railway, that was the only way to get to the Ocean Outpost. And with a horse, the journey can be completed in a single day. But on foot, it was necessary to build several rest stops. So let's head down into my minecart terminal. And I've already fixed this. All of my minecart systems used to have a drop where the minecart would sink into, and then you could just hop into the minecart and push yourself out. In this new version of Minecraft, you can no longer do that. So the cart needs to be on a flat surface. And these single powered rails that aren't powered were effective brakes, but their characteristics have been greatly amplified in the most recent versions. So they pretty much stop you dead. So I'm going to have to kind of rethink this area here in the future. But enough of that. Let's go down to the bottom mining outpost. And in case you haven't seen it, this is my obsidian mine. I have a well and a special pickaxe. And I douse the lava and mine out the obsidian. And the mine goes way back over in that direction. So I have plenty of obsidian on hand in reserve, so I haven't had much of a need to mine more, but there's plenty to be mined out yet. And this is the bottom outpost. And here is one of those instances that I mentioned. So I need to repair this. Get rid of the track. Put some cobblestone down there. And replace the track. And this is a very long minecart track. It goes for a long way. This took forever, it seemed, to mine. And it goes through many caves that I sealed off. And oftentimes, when you get to a cave, the temptation is too great. So I would just mine the cave while I was there. So I would get a lot of XP from killing the mobs and even more XP from mining the loot. So this was a pretty profitable enterprise. And it's been some time since I've last been down this way. Maybe if I run, we can speed this up a little bit. What was that? Oh. I always like coming into this survival world, not just for the nostalgia of it being my first world, but also because playing on the realm, on Relaxing ASMR's realm, is a lot of fun, but after a while of just being able to get whatever you want with the click of a button, I kind of forget about all the hard work that it took to accumulate everything that I have in this world. Just the fact that I'm wearing iron armor. I have one set of diamond armor, and I very rarely wear it. I have diamond tools, and then just basic supplies, really. But it took so much more, and it meant, and does continue to mean so much more, to have all of this in this world, because of the hard work and perseverance that it took to accumulate that. And this is a ravine that I have not explored yet. It looks pretty big. I just kind of mined through it and built this railway through it. I have not explored this yet. I really need to get down here and do that. I see a lot of redstone and lapis lazuli and coal, iron. Yeah, this is a pretty big ravine. And it's pretty close by, too. And I think this is another portion of that same ravine. Oh, I did go up there briefly, because as I seem to remember, the lava was here before, and I had to kind of move it. I still wanted to keep the lava for the light, so I built a little platform there and put the lava down there. But other than that, this ravine remains unexplored. If my memory serves me correctly, there is another ravine up here that I have explored, called the Polar Ravine. And oftentimes these giant ravine systems generate with a surface ravine, and then you follow the caves until you come to the big underground one. And that is exactly what happened with this ravine that we will be approaching shortly. And I have probably about 80% of it mined out. In my most recent realm video, where I showed the bee colony, I mentioned that... Actually, hang on. Yeah, this is that polar ravine right here. And it's a decent size. And as you can tell with the torches, I have done some work here. I have another station here that I need to fix. And while we're here, I'll just maybe take you for a little tour. This area has had all the monsters cleared out of it already, so I could turn the monsters spawning on and not have any cares about this. But I've mined all of these caves and the ravine out completely. So it's kind of a neat view. It's a lot less intimidating than it was when I first came down here. It was a pretty spooky place back then. Oh, I have not explored up there by the looks of things. Maybe I'll get to that in the future. So as some of you may have noticed, I place torches on the left when I come into a cave so that I can track my way out by following the torches on the right. It seems to work fairly well. But more about what I was starting to say is, in that last video, I had discussed about how the city would eventually be expanded to where the bright orange markers stood. And I didn't expect that to take place for many months. But I kind of got that idea in my head that it would be better to finish that sooner than later. So with the help of the City Council, I'm pleased to announce that Phase 5 of the City of Patronville is complete. And it incorporates a lot of new features that tie some of the city landmarks together. And I will be taking you for a tour of Phase 5 in the next Realm video. And there are a lot of new builds in the Realm as well. We have a casino and a submarine, and we have a hockey arena that is being constructed, and a new gaming center. Soon we'll have a cemetery. Yes, Patronville is really starting to take off. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for our humble city. Looks to be another ravine, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I really do need to get back down here and mine these ravines out. Look at all that coal. See, all I have to do is take a water bucket and douse this lava, and I can walk right across and mine all that coal. And then a creeper can drop down on my head and blow me up, and I'll lose all of it. Story of my life. It's happened more than once. I don't want to toot my own horn, but back at my storage room, I have a double chest completely full of coal blocks. Yeah, that took basically 3 years to mine all that coal. And I'm getting very close to a full double chest of redstone blocks. And I have about half a double chest of iron blocks as well. So, I'm not exactly barely surviving or hanging on by a thread. I used to be. Back in the early days, I was living in a tiny little hole that I carved out of the side of a beach, and then I gradually turned that into a livable house. But during those days, I was scared to go outside after an experience with a skeleton and a creeper chasing me through my own house very early on in my Minecraft career happened. It wasn't until I decided to row around what I thought was a small island, and I ended up in a mountainous area, that I started to get comfortable with the outside world. And I built a small little, I seem to recall it was about 7 blocks by 12 blocks. Small little house with a basement, with a bed. And I used to stand on my porch every night and kill the zombies it was like they were lining up to die. It was a lot of fun. But then the time came where I wanted more security, so I built a giant wall around my house with a generous amount of land in between the house and the wall. And that served me pretty well for about 6 months. And then I tore down one end of the wall and expanded it, basically doubling the capacity of my compound. I have a lot of screenshots from my early days up until now. And maybe if you're interested, I can do like a picture type video of all of my screenshots. When I first started taking screenshots, I took them by accident. I was trying to press F3 to look at my coordinates, and it kept pressing F2 instead. So most of my early screenshots are just me looking at a wall. But if you're interested in seeing them, I'll just drop me a line in the comments. I have most of my screenshots are from this world, but I have some right from the beginning of the realm. The early days of the construction of the city and all sorts of different things. So here we are in the Ocean Outpost trolley station. Need to fix that. And it's very simple and very functional. And I haven't been here in a long time, so let me just have some mine shafts dug through here, I think. Yeah. It goes down. Just trying to give myself some more headroom. I don't remember where this ends up. Looks like some kind of cave. And oh. Yeah, I haven't been down here in a long time. Years. So I'm just kind of refreshing my memory. And I won't take you all the way through here. We'll just head back up to the trolley station. I do see some redstone over here that I might grab while I'm here. Just put a block here and so that the lava doesn't So that was probably the longest minecart trolley in my survival world, save for my nether trolleys. Some of those are pretty long. Yeah, we'll just go back. So up here is the Ocean Outpost. And it's very, very simple. Maybe I'll go to sleep so that it stops raining. Didn't realize I had diamond horse armor here. That's something. So I have some basic supplies, and like I haven't been here for a long time. Early 2019. So stone and iron swords, lots of cobblestone, some axes, some food. I have a very simple bedroom. And here is the Rospus Sea. Or no, sorry, this is the Southern Ocean. And I have circumnavigated this entire ocean. I usually find that to be the best way to handle these oceans when you come across them. That way I know where exactly to go. For instance, my main village where I trade is straight that way. The second village is over that way. Third village, straight that way. The fourth village with a desert temple is right over there. But I don't need to row across this ocean anymore because I have actually built a minecart under this ocean. And up here you can see my watchtower. And back there is another watchtower. I walled in a village here. But I used wooden doors, and the dumb villagers would open the doors at night and let the zombies in. So that village is now extinct. And I put a lot of work into it, but I couldn't believe the villagers at night just letting the zombies in. It was just ridiculous. So here is what the Ocean Outpost looks like from down here. Very, very simple. Down here is the stable for the horses. And up here is the watchtower. So you can see a part of the land bridge heading back. There's the village, the extinct village over there. Here's the ocean. And over there in the distance, you can see some funny looking towers. Well, that is my slime farm. And I'll take you over there in just a bit and show you what I have going on there. So, if we go back this way, and, well, before we do, this is the harbor. Very simple, but very functional. And that basically sums up all of my survival world Minecraft builds, and a fair portion of my realm builds. They're not that much to look at, but in a survival scenario, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So this tunnel leads back to the village. I could have always just walked, but being the safety fanatic that I am, I had to have an underground access. And here is my small base. And I've cleaned it out. I don't really use it anymore. And this is the ghost village. It was a pretty nice setup for the villagers. Here's my stable. And I had all sorts of things. Very well lit. Nothing could spawn in here. I had a chicken pen. And here is the perimeter wall. And there's a dirt beacon tower, and every 100 blocks or so, those mark the land bridge that leads back to my compound, back up that way. Yep, so the villagers would all just gather right around here at night and figure, oh, I'm gonna go and take a stroll out here. And then the zombies would kill the villager or turn him into a zombie villager, and he would come back into the village and kill everybody else. So that's why I had the villagers at my compound locked in a very overbuilt room, because it seemed like they all had death wishes. They were just, well, they weren't very bright. So I had to watch out for them. So here is the watchtower for this place. And I do feel kind of bad because I did put a fair amount of work into this village. But it's okay, because I have other villages across the ocean, namely the ocean villages, and those are all thriving. I have them walled in just like this. So let's head back. If I can find the door in the wall. Yeah. Let's head back to the Ocean Outpost. And we'll continue on to the ocean villages. So, back down the ladder. So, down we go. And this one isn't as long as the other one. But almost immediately, we get to, well, it must be further than I remember. Or no, it's right here. Right here we get to the slime farm station. We need to fix this. So up these stairs is my slime farm. Here's a view down into that ravine. So, I don't know if my iron golems have stuck around or not. Yeah, they have. They're still here. But basically, the premise here is at night in this swamp that I had to level, and that was a bit of a job. Nowhere near the amount of work that I had to put in at Patronville, but pretty close. But slimes would spawn, or do spawn, in this swamp biome because I've lit up all the surrounding area all the way around to cut off the spawning. So they spawn in this field, and they're attracted by the captive iron golems. So they hop over to here and try to get at the iron golem and kill themselves on the cactus. And now lots of other mobs do that too. Zombies, skeletons. And underneath these carpets are hoppers. So, down under, I just walk down here, and I have this tunnel that goes all the way around. So here is one chest, and there are 4 others at the other ends. So after the night is done, I just come down here and collect all of the slime balls and other loot. So it's a very safe and very productive operation. This was an Avelman's design, and it works very well. So back down the staircase. And let's run once again. Part of the reason why I've been hesitant to go back into proper survival mode, as in normal mode, was because I wanted to go and visit the ocean villages and restructure them, fortify them. The village at my compound is very well protected. But these other villages, the walls are not high enough. So pillagers can shoot villagers over the walls, and I want to rectify that. So in the next video, that's what we're going to do. We're going to travel to the 2 villages. The 3rd village is pretty good, but the 2 main ones, I need to make the walls higher, and after that, maybe we'll test them out, if you know what I mean. Abandoned mine shaft directly on top of here. I think I would have mined this. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like yeah. This has all been done. And from what I recall, there was a ravine up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Let's take a quick peek. I should really come back here one day and explore this further. Looks pretty promising. But of course, if I do, it will be in normal mode. So we are underneath the ocean right now. And this railway is built on level 13. And when I say this one wasn't or isn't as long as the other one, it's still pretty long. I forgot how long it takes to walk this. But I think we're approaching the end pretty soon. I've seen a few comments that have been some people asking me whether or not I'd consider traveling naked to an unexplored part of my world and basically starting over. And I wouldn't be averse to that, but the problem is I've done so much adventuring in this world that I pretty much know all of it like the back of my hand. So I'd need to go somewhere really far away, like in the Nether, for example. But I might be interested in doing something like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. If you're interested in seeing something like that, let me know in the comments. I do want to start posting these videos on a more regular basis. I figured I could do one every Wednesday and Saturday. And then the little dog arrived. But now that he's settled in, I might be able to upload on a more regular basis. At least I hope so. So here is the end. And I see another abandoned mine down there that I'd like to explore someday. But up we go. So there you can see the structure that we just came up, and the ravine way below. And here is I guess it's a mine shaft. Yeah, because the ravine is back there. So I guess this is a cave that I cleared. And yeah, there's the ravine down there. So, lots of mining to be done here in the future, especially with that abandoned mine. Here is another track that we need to fix. So here we are at my primary ocean village. And I think I've cleaned out most of these chests. Just a bunch of blocks and steps. Torches, some shovels, some food. Leave the eggs here. Maybe I'll leave down here? Looks like maybe another mine. Oh, I know what this is. Another portal. But I have done quite a bit of mining here, as I seem to recall. And maybe we'll explore some of these mine shafts in a future video. But up here is my house. This was once the village blacksmith shop that I hastily reconfigured into this house. And you can see I've done a lot of trading with the village map maker. And here is the living quarters. And up here is an observation deck. So you can see some of the walls are rather short. So in the next video, we will be rectifying those problems. So that is the ocean that we just crossed. The Ocean Outpost is way down there. And so in the next video, we will take a tour of this village, repair the wall, and then take the boat around the bend to the other main village and repair that wall. And then maybe we'll go into normal mode and do some mining in the giant mine over there. So let me just get rid of all the stuff that I've been carrying around. And we'll end this video up here. So, until next time, I'm Izzy the Tiger, and thanks for watching. Happy trails.